Woo woo. We in that thing. Hey y'all. Welcome to Black Spin. How y'all doing today? All right, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into here and get started, sweethearts. So today on Black Spin, I want to just talk about dominance, genetics, and everything you can see by the title. Black men are bringing genocide amongst their own people, which I think is so weird. We all know what genocide is, right? We're about to get right into it in 3 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm gonna give y'all some time to get in there if y'all coming. Do y'all need some type of theme music or something? No, 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 no. I'm gonna give me a little intro video for you guys to listen to while people come into the chat. Okay, well that's it. I guess who's ever's coming is coming, honey, because it's time for us to get started. All right, and it's time to get cracking. So let me bring myself on the screen here, and let's get started. Hope everybody doing today. I shade to all our ancestors. Hey y'all, here I go. Y'all been looking for me. Here I go. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Okay, this is my business browser, so let's take that down. Oh no, wrong button. So you do that first. Y'all know I'm new to Apple, child. Oh Lord. And then how about we completely log that out. Okay, so first things first, I want to kind of come out here a little bit and I want to talk to you guys about genetics and genetic dominance and what it actually means. Um, And of course, you know me, I like to give us specific definitions and things like that. So we're definitely going to get into the nitty gritty of it. So how can I explain genetic dominance? Genetic dominance. People think that genetic dominance means that they're creating another black person by intermingling with a white person. Like I'm that genetically dominant that if I have sex with you, I'm like that you're like if a black man would think if he has sex with a white woman that he's gonna give birth to a black child. Number one, a white person cannot give birth to a black person. That's just genetically impossible. If you don't believe me, go study genetics and go find a geneticist. Okay, so let's make that put that all a book right there. Okay, that's impossible. Okay, you can't do that. Okay, the daughter cannot give birth to the mother. If we can all trace everybody back to one particular genetic person, the Eve gene, which only can be passed through a black woman, that means a black woman is God. Black people like to say a black woman gave birth to humanity. So then our daughter cannot turn around and give birth to us. That's just a common sense. Y'all see them long lashes? That's just a common sense perspective, right? Okay, so that aside, what is genetic dominance? Genetic dominance refers to characteristics and traits. For example, eye color. You get somebody, let's say I have a brown eye and my husband has a green eye, okay? But his grandfather and his parents both have brown eyes. You know, so he's a genetic anomaly as it is. So his green eye is gonna come down. My long lifetime of brown eyes are gonna come down, and then the baby's gonna be born with brown eyes because he has brown eyes on his side and his genetics. I have brown eyes on my side, so that characteristic trait is gonna automatically come through. It has nothing to do with the genetic makeup and the DNA strand and the amino acids and things like that inside your molecular structure. Okay? When they're talking about genetic dominance, they're only talking about traits and things like that and characteristics that you inherit from parents. Okay? This is we're not talking about on a biological level. We're talking about on a superficial level that we can all see with our eyes. So that's what that is. So when black men say we have recessive DNA, like, bro, if your DNA was that recessive, how come your white wife isn't giving birth to dark skinned children? That's from a common sense perspective. That's the way I break it down in layman's terms. But you know me, I like y'all like Google. Nobody want to read the books I read, so we're gonna go ask Google. Let's go ask Google. That's what we like to do, honey. Cause like I'm indigenous, baby. Ain't nothing but Indian blood rolling through these motherfucking veins. All of it. Okay? And Indians look like this. Not like the mixed mulatto bastard offspring. If we just think one more thing before I go to Google. If our DNA was so strong and our genetic amino acids were so strong, how come whenever a black man copulates with that of another race, that of the number is obvious? It's obvious, right? Just take what happened here in America. The indigenous people look like me. The white women came over here. The white men came over here. And, race loyalty is something that's passed through genetics as well. Most black women do not want to date outside their race unless they're desperate and lonely and just like, look, I'm fit to go find love where love finds me. So other than that, we are conditioned already, and not through society, just through our genetic Eve gene to be race loyal because we know we have to be fruitful and multiply, right? So, and that's in every religion, every spirituality. So with that being said, when this European settler got here, and our indigenous men were so enamored with their look, their flat hair, and whatever else, whatever made them want to sleep with them, or just the fact that us living in close proximity, it just naturally maybe occurred. Who knows? But with that being said, when they started sleeping with them, fast forward 100 or so, 1,000 years maybe. Maybe 100 years, 150. White folk work quick on their terrorism. So we're gonna say now you have these mixed octoroon quadroon offspring, and now they're the new indigenous people, and then the warrior class is dead, and the children are hauled off into POW concentration camps to work as slaves. So you see what I'm saying? Then once they separated the dark from the bright, they then began to hone in on the bright and take all the land that was originally all of ours for themselves because divide and conquer. And I keep explaining that to y'all, but I just want y'all to understand who the real indigenous people are. The people that they're telling you in India now that look like this are mixed mulatto bastard offspring. And the closer the light is always right. So that's what that is. So that's why those are mixed people having mixed people. If they were indigenous, they would be a color of the rainbow. Just like black people. Two black parents can get together and still have a light-skinned child. The black families are the color of the rainbow, period. Not the gay rainbow, honey. The different variations of this color of copper. And I'm scared to say rainbow. I saw these cute little Louis Vuitton tennis shoes. I ain't want to buy them because they had the rainbow on. I want to be walking down the street, motherfuckers talking about, oh, I'm bulldagging. Nothing, there's nothing wrong with that, but you know how that go. So let's go ahead and start Googling. Okay. So let's see here. Google. Oh, look at that. Okay. I had already brought it up. So genetic dominance. Oh, that's what I did. I queued some things for y'all this time. Instead of me having to type and stuff, I queued some things for y'all. So let's see what else I queued for y'all. Okay. That's mitochondrial DNA. All right, cool. We're going to get into all of this. Awesome. I'm so prepared this time. Okay, so how do we do it? Like this? Yeah. Okay, so genetic dominance refers to a specific relationship between two variants or ales. Like I said, a variant could be the brown eye characteristic, for example, and a single gene. two variable L's of a single gene in which one L masks the effects of the other L, influencing some trait. A trait. That has nothing to do with your biological makeup. It is a trait. It is what you look like. Okay? Dominance refers to the relationships of two versions of a gene. Like two versions of a gene. Y'all understand? I just said this, but this is the scientific terminology. Two versions of a gene. Two versions of a gene. Individuals receive two variations of each gene, known as L's, each part of a parent. If the L's of the gene are different, one L will be expressed. It is the dominant gene. One L will be expressed. AEI shown. You see what I'm saying? So let's take it further. Let's see. Wait a minute. Okay, examples of a trait. So that we understand what a trait is. Oh shit. Maybe I should have put genetics. Don't laugh at me, y'all. Dimples, curly hair, freckles, hairline, tongue rolling, earlobe attachment, red color. See, let me come back on so y'all can see my disdain in my face. So when they say, oh yeah, we breeding out white people, you can't breed out white people. Number one, you are not. I'm the mother. Anybody can be the daddy. So with that being said, what we have to understand is that when you're talking about recessive DNA, dominant traits, genetics, those are all talking about appearance things. When I looked up genetic traits, do you see skin color anywhere on here? If skin color was a very important trait, it would be at the top. But you have your tongue roll, the attachment in your mouth, earlobe attachment, dimples, curly hair, things of that nature. Those are genetic traits. Those are what traits are. So we're gonna get into mitochondrial DNA in a second. So while black men are here saying that, you doing something special, baby, you not. You're not. You are causing genocide on your own people. We're gonna get into the biology and everything in just a second. So I want y'all to rest here, and I want you to take this in and understand what it is that I'm telling you. So understand that. Eye color, height, bone structure. Look at our examples of traits. Examples of traits. So look. Come on, y'all. It can't be no clear. Can it? So you're not breeding out the black or the white. But we're gonna get into it. So let's go to recessive DNA. Is it C or it? Oh, there it is right there. Recessive DNA is a quality found in a relationship between two versions of DNA. Individuals receive one variation of a gene called an L from each parent. In the case of a recessive DNA, could be a disorder. An individual must inherit two copies of a mutated L in order for the disease to be present. So for the DNA to be recessive, which basically means to repeat, for it to repeat in genetics, it has to be two of the same thing that they're receiving. So recessive DNA comes into play when black people have kids with black people. It's on repeat. They said it right there in black and white. I'm just breaking it down for you. They're saying two copies of the same gene. So that's a repeat. That's a carbon copy. So recessive DNA has nothing to do with two foreign L's, like the L's you would get, or the genetic markers, or the L's you would get from a European parent, and the L's and the genetic markers that you would get from a indigenous parent. You see what I'm saying? So recessive DNA is an indigenous parent getting with an indigenous parent and making a copy of itself and passing it down. And they use a perfect analogy of illness, for example. If this, you know what I mean? This parent has schizophrenia, this parent has schizophrenia, that child most likely can be schizophrenic. It's a copy. It's a genetic copy. So no, your DNA may be recessive. Yeah, if you get with somebody else and repeat yourself. Let's keep going. So, cause I'm just like, come on. So now let's get into the hooks and the crooks of it. Let's go to. I think I already had a tab over for mitochondrial DNA, right? Dominant definition. So the Eve gene. So let's do. Okay, so the Eve gene. What is the Eve gene? Okay. Okay, so the Eve gene, which is also called mitochondrial DNA, that you see over here on the is that the right side of the screen? I know my left and my right. Y'all don't judge me. So hold on, let me put my phone on do not disturb for somebody else call. I think I'm doing this right. You know, I don't know how nothing about no Apple child. Okay, so boom. I think I got it. Right? Um okay. Shit, I just got another text message. How do you put this shit on do not Apple? Somebody tell me how you put. God, fuck me, man. Shit. Hold on. I'm gonna go grab my y'all. Stop it. 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 Okay, how do you do it, y'all? I do apologize for the technical ignorance I'm having over here. My bad, my bad, my bad. Ignorance I'm having over here. Anyway, so anyway, y'all, so we're just gonna pick it up. We're just gonna be getting disturbed. My bad, you know, I'm a popular lady. You know, I told y'all I got that pretty privilege, that personality privilege, and any other privilege you could think of, baby. I'm over here being privileged. Anyway, so mitochondrial DNA, aka the Eve gene. Now y'all see where it's all in Africa. Now y'all know just because humanities began in Africa, that doesn't make us all Africans. I explained that already. Because we are indigenous to this land. We were an exploratory group of people that might have been there but migrated out and found our own homes and our own land masses before white people even existed. The Caucasian, the European race is only 6,000 years old. Understand that. They cannot date themselves past 6,000 years. So, boom, stop it. So, in human genetics, the mitochondrial Eve gene, I'm going to add gene there, is the, let's see, maternarial most common ancestor of the living humans. Place of origin, East Africa, etc., etc. So let's go get that's the biological term for it. So for clarification, the Eve gene does not necessarily reference the first female human. It or of any species, but it is accurately will refer to. I'm not supposed to be looking on all these pages. Let's click on some of these links. Okay. Mitochondrial aging is a female biological ancestor of humans, aptly named the mother of all humans. So the mother of all humans. Now we see over here, its place of origin is East Africa. I'm just saying. We're just gonna throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? The let's see here. It might seem unusual and even impossible, but the DNA inside of mitochondria explains everything. Explains everything. There is one DNA that a human child inherits from their mother. Okay? So the only person who has mitochondrial DNA is a woman with African ancestry and the mother. Now, when I say African ancestry, everyone has African ancestry. However, a European does not have African ancestry because even though we gave birth to them, they are a genetic anomaly. They are the bastard offspring. They have not found mitochondrial DNA in no European woman. Okay, so let's keep that all the way above. Okay, so I just want to be no racist stuff, nothing like that. They just haven't found the Eve gene in nothing but a black woman. Okay, Mother Earth, as I'll call my. I'm gonna give me a tattoo to say I'm Mother Earth. Okay, what race has the Eve gene? Let's see here. Living descendant, a woman who first carried the sequence. Hypothetically, Eve gene lineage, Croatian people, two indigenous groups, Southern. They just don't want to tell you black people. I'm going to tell you. What color were the first humans? Blah, blah, blah. The first humans, Africa, 40,000 years ago. We're older than 40,000 years old. They have dated us back millions of years. Believed to have had dark skin. Yeah, Google not going to keep it all the way a buck with you. The mother of all humans 200,000 years ago, the summary of most robust examination dates of species, genetic links of mitochondrial Eve DNA. Living ancestors confirmed that she was alive 200,000. But they don't want to tell you that she was black. I'm going to tell you the truth. She was black. You can't have its origins in East Africa and then date it back over 200,000 years ago when your species is only 6,000 years old and does not say she's black. So it is what it is. Now, another thing they don't tell you about mitochondrial DNA, there's a spiritual side of mitochondrial DNA that allows a window. I'm going to bring myself back on the screen here, which is a window to our ancestors. So I'm gonna give you the perfect example of recessive DNA and the Eve gene mitochondrial DNA in one fell swoop. Me, okay? I look just like my great grandmother. My great great grandmother, excuse me. I know my great grandmother, but my great great grandmother, she passed at 108. My great grandmother passed at 108. Her mother passed at like, I don't know, like 99, 98. She didn't make it to 100. I know that much. But she was in her late 90s, early hundreds. So anywho, I look just like her. And my mom, who knew her great grandmother, of course she died when she was a child, but she says I act just like her. My attitude is a little she said I have a bad attitude. Y'all know I ain't got no bad attitude. But anyway, my attitude is just like her. My mannerisms are like her. Me and my mother share the same, just robust, to say the least, laugh as my great great grandmother. So I have my hair is orange. My hair is orange, as you can see. Its roots is a light brown orange. In the sun, it looks really really orange, like my great great grandmothers. But that's because we come from a line of chiefs. If I was indigenous, if we were still back in a long time ago's days, I would be an Indian chief because there wasn't no sexism or misogyny back in those days. The chief is the chief. So you born into a period. So anyway, I have orange hair like her. I look just like her, etc., etc. So that comes from the recessive side of it. Now, the fact that I see her out the corner of my eye, the fact that when I need guidance and I meditate, I can hear her, even though I never met her, the fact that I can feel her, the fact that with us not dating outside of our race, it's against the policies of my family, and it's against tribal law in the Creek Nation. With that being said, well, in the Muskogee Nation, Creeks, how they do. But so I'm very clairvoyant. I'll give you an example. My mother called me back when I was a party promoter a long time ago's days. My mom called me. She was like, "You need to go home." Every time I close my eyes, I keep seeing snakes. I thought it was your brother. Your brother just pulled up. He okay, so that means it's you. You need to go home. And right when I was fit to talk shit and get an attitude and tell her I'm not going home, when I decided I was about to go home, this was like a very quick 5-minute conversation. When I got in my car from Kiko's and I was about to go ahead and go home because I was by my house, guess what happened? I had a seizure right there. Right fucking there. That's the Eve gene at work. That's mitochondrial DNA at its finest, when it is pure, when it is clean. Now, what black men are doing when they are having, number one, like I said, a European woman cannot give birth to an indigenous woman. That just, duh. So what happens is they're cutting off and restricting their DNA, genocide. Okay, but we're gonna get into it because I'm gonna give y'all some examples of it. So let's see. So I explained that to you. So let's talk about them breeding themselves out physically and socially. Okay. So physically, I just talked about they're eradicating the Eve gene. So they're cutting off their offspring to access to their ancestors and ancestral power and ancestral DNA. Okay. They're cutting themselves off from that. So they are basically weakening their gene pool. You know how okay, I'm gonna put it to you like this here. They just automatically assume that we all were raped and we all are mixed. Said that's some bullshit. But anyway, you notice how people who are obviously mixed, some of them without working at it, that if they don't work at being tall, work at being smart, work at being muscle bound. If they don't work at it, they don't naturally get it. You see what I'm saying? You ever seen a 5-year-old boy that has two black parents? He like, dang, he thick, he tall, he muscular. How you get a 6-pack and you like 5 years old? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Your daughters are born with ample, and ample and flat stomachs and just strong. You know what I'm saying? Like they born like that. When they say that they used to, when white people talk about giants, I found that they were just talking about really, really tall black men. But since we have caused these mutations in our own genetic pool, we don't get that almost 7-foot brother anymore. We don't get the tall sister anymore. You know what I'm saying? You get these skinny, petite, fragile. Most petite women who can't gain weight, who complain about being super skinny, have a diluted, weak gene pool. Cause your dumb ass daddy. There was no polite way to say it. So you're killing the excess. Your DNA isn't recessive. You know what I'm saying? And socially, you murder yourself socially because your mixed mulatto bastard offspring, your octoroon, your quadroon, your unidroon, all of them only think you came from slavery. They don't know the great divinity that lies in the scrotum of their father, because you're not even teaching it to them. They don't know about no Mansa Musa. They don't know nothing about the fact that you're really indigenous to this land. If you are, you could be actually African from Africa and stuff like that. They don't know nothing about the real Indians looking like this and not this. They don't know none of that shit. All they know is my black daddy was a slave, and my white mama was a slave master. That's all they know. And black men don't teach their children black history, and a white woman can't. You don't believe me? Okay. Let's go to this. We're going to finish on this DNA first and genetics, then we're going to get to sociology. Put a pin in that. I want y'all to look at this video real quick. Look at this. Okay, despite how you is that it? Okay. Despite not being able to point out one time in history in which black male genetics have annihilated white genetics, they will convince themselves that they can breed white people out. Their delusional pathology leads them to believe they can do something that they have never done in history. Now, mind you, we have been copulating with other races since other races began. Mind you, right? So hold on. Let me come back on here real quick. We have been copulating with other races since other races began. Look at me when I say that. Now let's go back here and look at her when she says this. Okay, let's bring it back to large. I'm going to read it one more time for the people in the back. Despite not being able to point out one time in history in which black male genetics have annihilated white genetics, they still convince themselves they can breed white people out. Their delusional pathology leads them to believe they can do something that they have never done in history. Are y'all picking up what I'm dropping? Are we here? Are we here for the people? Right, everybody tell make sure y'all follow my channel. Make sure you like my channel. Make sure you keeping it up in the chat. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the share button. Let everybody know what y'all doing right now. What y'all on right now. So, despite it never taking place, they can't show you nothing. Right? They don't know. It ain't never happened and it's not gonna happen. Right? Okay. So watch this dumbass. This dummy.
This is the case. Take a look at this video, and then I'll come back for commentary.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but 100% of white boys need to step their game up and take care of these white girls. Because guess what? Y'all better get y'all shit together, treat these white girls right. They keep coming over to the black side having mixed kids. Ain't gonna be no more white boys.
Okay, we're gonna pause right there. Number one, if that is true, then wouldn't the same be said for your race? You better take care of the black woman because I want y'all to look me in my eyes so I can understand how serious I am. If that's the case, doesn't that mean there isn't gonna be any more black men, any more black women? If y'all keep dating out, you trying to do a PSA to white men, you need to do a PSA to black men. Because you are getting rid of yourselves. Black on black genocide. It's a real thing. And black men are causing it. Black men like this dumbass who has the audacity to address the socially dominant race and tell them what to do. How you gonna tell the socially dominant race what to do? They provide hospitals for you and me. They provide hospitals for your black ass, schools for your black ass. Your black ass provide nothing for yourself, and you think you can do a public service announcement to them? The gall of it all. So you think because you fucking white bitches, you somehow have access to the white man's dominance and colonialism over your land. You weak ass bitch. That's why I don't call black men kings. Until you get a kingdom, I won't call you a king. And then they want to say black women are so aggressive and so dominant. But you are forcing us to have to create generational wealth and rebuild Black Wall Street and focus on e-commerce and actual commerce and all this on our own. So when can we rest in our femininity if we have to do what you won't do, which is create a black mecca, create a black community? There are very few of them that are willing to do that. It's getting so now that if a black man does have a black woman, she has mixed ancestry, or she's light enough to look like she has mixed ancestry. And I know some light-skinned girls that's ashamed of being partially white, and they lie and say they black with two black parents. I caught a friend of mine lying like that. Like, bro, you got a white parent and a white grandparent. Why you telling me you was black? Like, I was gonna be cool with you anyway. The fuck? But anyway, a lot of black acceptance is important to them, which is why they really like sleeping with our men anyway. But anyway, let's put a pin in that. You say I put the pin in it. Let me get a pin. Let me put a pin in that. How you put a camera in? Y'all know I'm goofy. Anyway, so let's go back to this cornball. How you gonna address the dominant society? Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. You can't do nothing. This man got turquoise hair trying to talk to a real man who has real social dominance, who has established himself in America despite being a foreign settler, despite coming over here as a peasant. Has been dominated over you and your people. But you want to address him. Okay, child. But what's worse is the comments.
I'm going.
Now, you guys...
Now watch the comments. I'm going to pause it when y'all need me to. I want y'all to read the comments. This is what white and black people, both male and female, said to this clown.
Look at these comments and then I'll come back.
Dustin, this is the first white person you see. Do you realize black and white makes gray, and then white and gray makes white? So technically, the white girls, or they, I think he meant the white girls are breeding y'all out. Here go the black woman, because black women are smart. Yup. They appreciate them until the kid happens and then they're gone. That's a white boy laughing. Don't worry, the black queen's coming our way. We'll do the old switch around. We have the Eve gene. So and then a lot of white girls they want to have kids with black guys because they need the genetics. They need the genetics. You wanna know what I mean? I'll show you. Don't let's see here. Most ignorant stuff I ever heard in a long time. We mix white with any color, it gets lighter. Add more, it gets even lighter. Thank you. White woman with her man, whoever that is. That means there be no more black boys. Y'all see that?
Now, let's see if we can work a little.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I mean, come on. Look at this. IDK, I seen something. A lot of white boys and black girls, those mixed kids look very much the same as from black boys and white girls. Won't be no more black boys either. So it's whatever, brother. Life is life. I think this conversation needs to be talked about. Has been talked about already. What do you get when you breed white and black? More white, and then black. Eventually, it will come be. What? I don't know what he's trying to say, but hopefully he meant cease to exist. I'll stick to Asian girls. This is crazy. Until they have kids, then they gone. Did y'all see the comment about when he said they ain't gonna have no daddies? Black men make themselves laughing stocks. There you go. Yeah, go to the black side and grow up with no dad on food stamps. What? What? Crazy, right? Crazy, right? But y'all not getting it. Y'all are not getting it. Y'all are not getting it. Like, why aren't y'all understanding that? Why don't we get that? Is it that y'all don't care? Okay. Laughing stock. Michael Nichols says, shit, go ahead fuck with them niggas y'all want to. Aren't white girls not too bright anyway? Aren't white girls not too bright anyways? I don't think the white guys care. Turn white in the end. No more black boys. Keeping all the way above. They breeding. Even these white folk know. Light or brown. Eventually it will end up white. Yet again, my guy. Come on. Ain't gonna be no more white boys. She just laughed. She knows it's a joke.
Now, you guys saw those.
Come on, man. Like, everybody knows you can't breed them out but you. And let's talk sociology for a second. Just on a social sphere. It's not like y'all are getting the top of the top crop white women. Y'all not. Y'all getting the ones that the white man don't want. Like, what part of that don't y'all get? They don't want them fat bitches y'all getting. They don't want them uneducated hoes y'all getting. Y'all, a lot of even rich black men, y'all are marrying whores, strippers, run through white hoes, trailer trash white hoes for the ones that are in the hood with no financial backing, no status. Y'all prostitutes South Liberty Road. These are the white hoes y'all getting. Okay? The rich black men, y'all are getting maids, groupies, and y'all are galling them and marrying them. Y'all not getting a Rockefeller. They wouldn't dare fuck with a black man. Y'all not getting a Hilton. Nikki or Paris wouldn't even look your way, let alone fuck you. Okay? If Robert Kardashian was still alive and able to father his daughters, they wouldn't be fucking all these niggas. But they was raised by a groupie, thought hoe bitch. And didn't realize the real power that the Kardashian name yielded. Yeah, they got millions of dollars now, but for being hoes and being subjugated, and for pretending and for taking on negative black caricatures. They could have went to college on their name. They could have been successful business women on their name instead of their ass and the way they look. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't look at a nigga twice. There are a lot of European dynasties. They're not marrying, the rich black men are not marrying white women with resources. They're marrying broke white hoes. So if you're gonna marry somebody, if it ain't got nothing to do with color, then why wouldn't you marry somebody with no resources that look like you? Kobe Bryant married a broke bitch that was in high school. She ain't had no access to resources. Her mom been living off another nigga alimony and Kobe Bryant money since that girl got with Kobe. Something his own parents couldn't even do. They had to sell his memorabilia when they need to pay their taxes on their house. Let's talk about it now. Just from a social political point of view. Y'all are socially murdering yourselves. Y'all are genetically murdering yourselves. Genocide. It's just black on black genocide. Only because y'all have this illusion, this delusional pathology that you guys are recessive and that recessive DNA means that you can give birth to another race. So if y'all need some more examples. Let me show you. Let me give you an example of what these white folk was talking about. Let's see. Okay, this is Drake parents, right? Black father, white mother. Black father, white mother. Right? Again, if his DNA is so strong, look at him. Okay? Now, boom. They went from that to this. That's a biracial boy copulated with a European woman and had a European son. Blue-eyed and blonde haired. Who else have blue eyes and blonde hair? His mama. Look at his mama. Look at them pretty eyes and that pretty blonde hair. That baby like his grandma. Remember, if we parented the universe and the world, that means we can give birth to every race. So our DNA has to be able to bend, and fold to have these mutated bastard offsprings. And then we took them, so history says, and put them all together in the caves because we didn't want no white babies. Like, I guess karma motherfucker. Now they don't want no black babies. But anyway, so look, that's a white baby. Now he'll be lucky if this little boy's grandchildren even know who he is. He'll be lucky. Because, if that was a black woman, she's going to make sure you know who your family is and your lineage and where you come from. But white women don't do that. Okay, y'all don't believe me? Let's look at another one. Mr. No Dark Skins Allowed. He even has the pathology of a white man. These are his parents. This is his biracial mother. This is not a black woman. This is his biracial mother. This is his black father. Okay? This woman is biracial. She is not black. Okay? These are his kids. That's his white son, his white daughter. These are Europeans. Look at that. Look at that. So he'll be lucky if her or his grandchildren know who he is. Luckily, the only thing everybody say Chris Brown is he has sex with ghetto hood rat bitches, so they might be carrying on that name forever. But let me show you another example. Watch this. Patrick Holmes Sr., baseball legend. This is him. This is his wife. Again, nobody special, no access to wealth. She brought no resources to the relationship. She brought nothing to the relationship besides a pink vagina. And all I was a pink. Okay? This is him. This is his son, right? This is him, his wife, his son. Okay? It's so bad when you put in his name without the senior, you get his son and his family. You get his son, right? So this is his son. That's like a white boy with a tan and curly hair. Okay? See, Junior. I want y'all to see this man's baby. What is his girlfriend's name? Because he just had a baby. Let me see. And there it is. Okay, this is his girlfriend. Again, no resources. No resources. They raised him in a white neighborhood. He got a white girl. Period. And then this, guys, is their white daughter. That's a black hat. Her hair is blonde. This is their white daughter. Y'all see her? Let me show y'all her pretty face. She's a gorgeous little baby. We shoot the big old cheese. Let's see. Brittany Matthews played soccer. She may have a little excess then. I knew she was an athlete. I thought she didn't go past college. Let's see. Uh, let's see if I click all with his with their child come up. Okay, you follow them on Instagram. I want y'all to see this baby. That's a little white girl. Look at her. There she go. So tell me, where are the genes recessive? Where? Recessive where? You gonna breed out white people where? This man has a black father. He has a black father. A baseball Hall of Famer ass father. Married a trailer park lady. He married another white lady. She's not trailer park, I don't think. And this is their baby. Her grandfather is a black man. Hold on. Her grandfather is a black man. Recessive where? Did we gonna delete, kill white people where? How? 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 When is we gonna do this? Because we've been sleeping with for hundreds of years and they still here. So when is they supposed to be bred the fuck out? You can't, you ain't, and you won't. What you're doing is breeding out yourself. Black on black genocide. You are killing yourself. They have misled you to believe that you have this superpower sperm, the Stevie juice, going through your goddamn testicles, and that you can murder any race. What? You cannot. And this womb will never give birth to a black child. It's genetically impossible. Shit. I'm sick of hearing that shit. And I just want my people to live. That's why I get so passionate about it. It ain't got to do with no hatred or nothing like that. This is science. This is genetics. I want my people to survive. I want 100 years from now for there to be people that look like me. But if the men that look like me are so disgusted with procreating with me and have such a hatred for themselves, because let me tell you, black men love to say they ain't got no self-hate. Let me tell you something. If you don't date dark-skinned women because they're dark-skinned, then you don't like dark skin. So if you don't like dark skin, that means you really don't have that great of appreciation for yours. So get out of denial. Because once you hop out of denial and you begin to attack these mental ailments that you have of self-conscious, self-doubt, and things like that, then we can begin to heal you. Because most black women don't have that problem. A lot of girls that look like me have low self-esteem based off their skin color is based off how their counterpart, which is you guys, black men, treat them. That's why. It don't have nothing to do with them not thinking they beautiful from the jump. And then they get out there into society. Their parents didn't prepare them for colorism. They didn't prepare them to function in the world that it is today. And they get out there and realize the men that look like me hate me the most. And then they're so young and naive, they don't know it's self-hate. They don't know it's self-hate projected onto them. Because if they don't like what they see in you, then they don't like it when they see it in the mirror either. Period. Okay, so now let's go to black men being exploited for their genetics so that Europeans can have a more superior or bloodline. Because you remember, white women have melanin, but they don't have eumelanin. They have few melanin. Okay? So let's go to, let me see here. Let me go to my photos so I can show you. Can y'all see the few melanin? Okay, whatever. I'm gonna have to bring it up on the internet. Okay, so hold on. That's my Dun and Bradstreet number. Okay, I want y'all to okay, where is this at? White House, Patrick. There it is. Okay, so this is the Patrick guy. This is the guy on the screen now. That's him in a room full of white people. Can you tell who he is? Do you see him? No. That's in a room full of his actual black relatives. Stick out like a sore thumb. Thumb. But y'all breathing out something. This is him and his white baby on the airplane. That is a European baby. So breathing out where? Hell, he look white. With that hat on, without you seeing that curly hair. He like one of my homeboys I used to go to the beach with. When I used to think I could surf. Look. So breathe out where? Where and how and when? I'm waiting on it to happen. When is it gonna happen? It ain't? Oh, okay. It ain't and it can't because it won't. There go his other siblings. And his black ass daddy. That like some white boys. Whole family Europeans. He the only nigga there. Sad, ain't it? Just sad. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the manipulation of it all and how y'all are being used. Okay, because y'all really think that y'all are doing something by sleeping with white women, but they call it black on black genocide, and white girls know this. So watch this. Uh, I'll go here with it. I wonder if it's in this video. Let's see.
I'm back, baby.
Oh no.
Boss Baby may be racing to theaters.
I'm definitely gonna see Boss Baby because one and two is funny as hell. We ain't gonna act like it's not.
They somehow believe that this is the case.
Okay, so.
Elect women of no color.
I want y'all to see this. I don't think it's in this one, but I hope it is. Okay, it's not in this one. I have to start really taking screenshots of the stuff I be learning from. So watch this. I thought I hit the cats with black. Look at I spell survival. I gotta find this video. Like it's gonna be worth it when y'all see it. So y'all have to excuse me. It's gonna be so worth it when y'all see it. Okay, let me see. I can't remember who page I saw it on. I want to say it was Cynthia G page. So let's go to Cynthia G. Oh, you know what? Let's go to my history. And then let's go to see all. When is this? When was this made? I remember watching this. When was this made? 2020. It might be in this one. That's a commercial. Damn, if I find it, I'm gonna have to link it below. I don't want to spend too much time with dead air looking for something. But y'all have to understand that there's a video where this girl was saying that she would only date a black man for melanin, for survival. And the reason being is because just a speck of our DNA lasts them hundreds of years, which means they can go outside, they can sunbathe, they can do the thing, the outdoorsy things that they like without getting boiled, without getting blistered and catching sun fevers and passing out and stroking out and dying in the here it is, and dying in the sun. It's got to be in this video, so you can't see the comments. So black men. Oh well, I don't like giving up, but I think I'm gonna give up. Let me play it and see if
the
I can hear.
psychology of these women, because even these women who don't really even care about what black women are doing, once they take a liking to black men, black women become their competition. Now they don't have to compete with black women section and say it ain't so with right. The comments are disgusting. It is that this is going to be a little bit lengthy, not the comments but the commentary, because there's a number of different value in a woman of no color. Put this on biracial people. I put this on the psychology of the black people, mostly black men, because down the psychology of the black men, and I cannot see them as victims of this society that we live in.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more video and then that's it. But I want you to see the white girl say it for herself that she is only with him for his DNA. If I don't find it, then I'll put it in the description so you guys can go and see it, so you see what I'm talking about.
To me, and both of them have to do with black male psych.
What just happened?
Wake that ass up.
I don't even like Breakfast Club. Why would this be on my screen? What just happened? Did y'all see what just happened? So let's go back. So
and
a lot of times black men are being exploited for their melanin. They don't want you per se, but because when they were asking these girls, why do you date black men? They wasn't saying, oh, because they are good providers, they're good fathers, they're kind, they're loving. They're not saying any of that. What they're saying is that they like them because one girl said for survival. Another, a lot of times they're sexualized, and they say because of the size of their phallus and things like that. One lady said, I wanted him for his genetics. That video, that's the name of that video, is I want him for his genetics. So we could go look at that one. And where this crusty white lady was saying that she wanted the black crusty man that she was with for his genetics. So we have to kind of take ownership as a race, one, for the fact that no one respects us, but two, black men can't say that, oh, what about black woman accountability? But if you're the leader, you're the man, and you want a woman to submit to you, then you need to be the king of a kingdom. You can't be a king with no kingdom. You have to provide schools, finances, providership. You have to provide all of that. You can't say, hey, we got to go 50-50 on stuff and then say, hey, submit to me like the king that I am. That doesn't work like that. So, bam. So listen to this girl first.
We don't think that getting attention from black guys gives you a status of some sort. If you get attention from the white guys, you do have the status more than if you get attention from black guys.
As a man, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that.
Well, as a woman who gets attention and who grew up in a white culture more than a black culture, I'm going to tell you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
You are white.
Yes. Hey, guys.
So let me add a little context here. That is her boyfriend. She's fucking with him. They had just went on a date. They do little stuff on YouTube together. And that's her dude. So she was just saying that it's not a badge of honor being with him. But black women think it's a badge of honor having a good black man because we love our black men. Right? But they don't love them the same. You know, and it's really, 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 and truly sad that they don't understand that they're getting sunned by a whole nother race. And like I said, they're getting low-hanging fruit because like if they could pick a man to be with, they would pick their own white counterparts. But they can't because they are low-hanging fruit and the white man does not want them. So they come over here and get adored on and admired. And then some ignorant women admire them as well. Just because they get access to our men that we don't seem to have. So they end up getting admired. And then these black kids end up getting hurt in the crossroads. If you don't believe me, watch this.
A lot of mixed people, including me, have white mothers who do not talk about their blackness during their childhood.
White moms or non-black moms can't show you a perspective like how black moms can. And that's not their fault. But we have to find that perspective on our own.
Mixed children who have white mothers tend to be more exposed to internalized racism and colorism because of the lack of intersectionality among white feminists.
People are like, yeah, children with white moms tend to be a little anti-black. And I was like, shoot, I got a white mom. I will admit that there was some definite anti-blackness like stuff when I lived with my white mom.
And my grandmother sees my brother's shirt, and he's wearing a shirt that looks just like this with Malcolm X and the rifle. And my grandma is like, really? Malcolm X with a gun? So violent.
You live in a predominantly white area in a country that's controlled by whiteness. The information that you receive about black people from society is all just stereotypes. This is what can cause them to begin to see their blackness in a negative light. Because no one at home is mentioning their blackness and how it's powerful and beautiful.
This is a Facebook post from my uncle. You can pause to read if you want. But basically, he was saying that he'll kill any Black Lives Matter or Antifa protester if defund the police were to actually be achieved. He knows that I'm very passionate about Black Lives Matter and have always been attending or organizing protests. So when he says stuff like that, he's directly threatening my life.
So many commenters were saying things like, oh, I didn't know my culture. I have a white mom and I didn't know my culture. Why would you expect a white woman to teach you about your black culture? Where was your black father? And the issue is misogynoir, where some black men, not all, but some black men are only with white women because of a closer proximity to whiteness, and they put down their own women and own culture as a result. Us mixed kids need to combat that misogynoir as well as the internalized racism.
Well, my mom was definitely like this before she had me, before they met. And she, like, the family was worse. Like, honestly, they had a nickname for my dad. It involved the N-word. That was really hard to find out.
So I posted on Facebook about neocolonialism and white tourism in the Bahamas, and here's my white family's response. My main problem is with this first sentence. Please remember that you're half or more white. That is so out of pocket. Like, how are you just going to assume that my ancestors were sexually assaulted? like off rip.
In elementary school, I remember like telling people that I
Real,
was white.
yeah.
Like I never said black. And if people asked, I would say, "Oh well, white and black." I would always put white first. And like I hated my hair. Like I hated it.
If you want your child
She's
to be
still
proud of
covering
who
it
they
up.
are, their blackness is a part of that. You can't just pick and choose parts of our identity that you want to accept and dismiss the other. That just further reinforces the idea that blackness is taboo and negative.
You clearly don't know how race works because, no, I'm not half white. I'm racially 100% black. Just like my mom has green eyes, but that doesn't mean I'm half green-eyed. My experience is black. That's all I know. I won't be half denied a job. I won't be half murdered by the police. I am black. That's it.
Additionally, mixed people aren't superhuman.
He's not,
You
but
didn't just create a new
I can see why
category of
he
race by
identifies
saying
that
he's a
way.
black man. Our blackness doesn't just disappear, it's still there. If you say that you don't feel the need to talk about color, then you're just saying that you want to remain ignorant. Not to just our experiences, but also the greatness in our black identity.
So that's your biracial, beautiful babies. That's what they think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, and look at them. None of those biracials looked like me. So again, if our genetics was that strong and we weren't breeding out and they weren't breeding us out, then I'm just asking. ... Fill it in yourself. There's one more thing I want you guys to watch. Then I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary, and then we'll go ahead and close it out. Because you have to understand. Here it is.
Attention, parents of children who developed necrotizing enterocolitis.
Not
If your
necrotizing.
child developed
Could have had breast milk.
Yeah. If you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
You are white.
Yeah.
Talk about these videos that I got from TikTok. Women, there have been some men being biracial, and they are both. Relationships and why. So take a look at these videos, then I'll come back for further commentary.
If you're mixed and you got a white mom, stitch this.
As a fellow biracial with a white mom, I feel like we need to address what you're saying in here. My mom did not know how to do my hair. My mom also thought it was okay to say the N-word in the beginning. My mom does not like talking about cultural appropriation like with the Kardashians or blackfishing. I cannot talk about dating with my parents without them bringing up the fact that I am half white, so I don't really struggle, apparently. I have to deal with being fetishized. I cannot talk about that with my mom. I also know that I'm not the only one with a dad that doesn't want to overstep boundaries or doesn't want to educate their wife correctly just so they don't scare them away or make them feel uncomfortable. A lot of white moms who get with black guys are usually just interested in the look of blackness, not necessarily the culture. And I'm not saying that my mom doesn't appreciate the culture or anything, but all the other stuff, I definitely had to educate her myself on it. Honestly, that's a whole thing that a few other videos are going to have to talk about. But I can say that their relationship with boundaries is a little bit odd. But let's talk about how this really does affect the community in the way that black guys go after white women. As I said, my mom really cares about cultural responsive stuff in the education system. My dad probably had been with her so long that he really didn't realize what was wrong with what she was doing because she cares about the community enough to do that stuff. I think when he married my mom, it was just so much of a distance between him and black women at that time that he didn't get to hear the problems anymore. And this isn't in defense of my dad. I'm just trying to explain the whole story a little bit. But as I said in my other video, it doesn't necessarily make my mom racist. She just had a lot of tendencies to unlearn to become not ignorant. Because she does care, and I guess my dad just never saw those tendencies before he married her. This genuinely needs like an actual response. White people will have racist tendencies, whether they mean to or not, and it's something that they do have to unlearn, and that's what my mom had to do, especially since she came from the middle of nowhere in Texas. She likes the culture, she liked how it looked, and she does like to do cultural responsive stuff. But as I was growing up, I still had a lot of issues and struggles that I couldn't really relate to with my mom because I was a mixed girl. And I definitely saw how white girls got treated differently than me. And to this day, she still thinks I really dislike white people, which I don't. I don't hate my family, but there's certain tendencies that I don't like that white people do. But that is neither here or there. It's just really hard to grow up like this because when you have these conversations with your white mom, she definitely can victimize herself in these certain conversations, and she has done none of it. We always talk about daddy issues. How come we never talk about mother wounds? I really want to talk about this because if you have issues with one parent, you usually have issues with the other because the other will condone it unless you don't have that parent in your life. There's been several times that my mom has called me a bitch all throughout my life, both sober and drunk, and that's been since I was a child. I would say that my mom is more for verbal abuse and neglect than anything else, and my dad was more of the physical one. But my mom condoned a lot of the things that my dad has done to me up until now as well. I've said this before talking about just being biracial, but both my parents really believe in not overstepping their boundaries with each other, but they don't apply that with me. Anytime I talk about depression or suicide with my parents, my mom has always told me, "What did you want us to do? Send you to a mental hospital?" And of course, my mom is the one who continuously says she's the one that's underappreciated. There's something crazy about this comment. I commented on another video once that, life would have been a lot more easier to understand if I had a black mom. And honestly, I do think it is affected because I am a mixed girl. My brother doesn't necessarily go through much since he is a boy and my dad is the black one. I think I would have understood a lot about my dating life and fetishization if I did have a black mom to explain about beauty standards and things like that. Black women are the worst treated people in this country. So it only makes sense for black women to educate their children on social issues so they can survive through the system. It only makes sense. Regardless of how black my child ends up being, I still will educate them about black struggles and history and everything about it. And I honestly think no matter what race you are, you should be educating your kids on it because the school system is not. These comments really got me shook because there's so many mixed children with moms.
My mom is a racist. Left my ass off. She doesn't even believe Black Lives Matter. And that's what's happening when you guys are fetishizing these white girls, having these black babies, and then y'all leaving them to be raised by them. But no one sees a problem with it. It's going to be okay, Hey, it is what it is, right? But these are people, and they're having an identity crisis all their lives because one, they don't have a black woman to teach them how to be a black woman, even though they're not black. And then they don't have the black father who's willing to check racism in his own home because he's basically getting sunned because he don't want his white girl to leave him. This is crazy, right?
That don't support black issues, and it's very interesting to me. But I will say, usually the ones that are racist and generally don't like black people are the ones that don't have that black partner in their life anymore, but they have the kid. And I've seen a few of y'all in the comments as well. That's been real interesting. But basically, that mixed child will not have that black parent in their life, and so they put everything negative that's on that parent on the race as well, not just as the parent was absent in their life. And I know I'm not the only one that sees it too, because I know the black community can tell what Drake's and Doja Cats look like.
Now, you guys listen to those videos.
Thank you. So I'm just saying, so not only are they annihilating and committing genocide and blasphemy by definition on their own people, but then they're giving race to these new set of people who don't know how to function. All these biracial people are not going to get to be rich like mulatto. Right? I'm just saying. So, and then mulatto don't even know that mulatto wasn't an insult. It was something that black mixed people made up because they didn't want to be called black. I'm taking it, making it positive. Shit, it was positive for them. So, you have to cut that down. So, I want to close it up and wrap it up there. I want to do a brief recap. Your DNA is not recessive. If recessive means to repeat, that means black on black babies repeat and have a carbon copy of themselves. Your genetics are not dominant on a biological level. That only means your child can inherit some of your character traits. We looked at what traits were. We went over that. So, you're breeding out yourself. You're breeding out your own ancestral connection to the ancestor and the motherland. By doing so, you're eradicating your connection to the Eve gene, to the mitochondrial DNA that only black women can access. That's why daughters are a blessing. Like European culture will teach you that the son is the blessing because the son carries on the father's name. But your black daughter that you're teaching these other black men to negate, your black daughter carries on your spirits and your ancestral connection to this plane and to the galaxy. But y'all not ready to talk about that. So you're not recessive. You don't have the almighty sperm. If that's the case, all mixed kids would not be bright and look damn near white. So let's cut that shit off right there. Like, brother, stop breeding us out. I don't want beautiful dark chocolate skin like myself. I don't want to cease to exist. And I don't want sisters that look like me to feel like they don't have pretty privilege and that they have to bleach their skin to get the attention of black men. Black men, don't deny a good black woman because of what she looks like. And don't let some light-skinned trick pick you up and put you down, pick you up and put you down and use you and manipulate you just because she knows how desperate you are to be with a light-skinned person and she knows that how the pathology of a dark-skinned man, especially a super dark-skinned man. So don't let her trick you into being her puppy and run it up behind her where you end up in a loveless marriage and a loveless relationship with no respect. All because you guys are choosing women because of how they look. It has to be deeper than that. It has to be. All right, guys. This is Black Spin. I love you, love you, love you to pieces. And I am out, honey. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for coming. And remember, if you can watch C-SPAN, you can watch Black Span. Thank you guys and have a lovely evening. I hope you all learned something. Peace out.